Oh god. Yeah, that was nasty. But hey everyone, you thirsty bastards. I hope you all are sipping your favorite brewage or favorite person, which sounds weird when I say it like that. But we're back with two more servants, and we're gonna start with David, aka Silver Daddy. Sounds kinky, eh? I will say. I mean, we have Sugar Daddy. I guess Silver Daddy is the evolved form. We can make a new Pokemon line with this. Start with Sugar Daddy, follow with Silver Daddy, and then like Platinum Daddy. I do not know. But David, I actually like him. He's hot. He's cute. We even got a little action. That's cute. I like that. A little bit unexpected. I do feel that David is a character that is, we don't get we really don't get to see much of him, aren't we? But it is also really sad when thinking about Solomon and all that. I really wanted Solomon and David to be like, hello, my son. I'm your dumb daddy. I would love that. Seriously. Not to mention, seriously, he looks hot. And actually, I have grailed him once. He's 75 for me. I have a plan to grail him to 90 at one point. He's not my goal at the moment. Now it's like Hektor, getting him to level 90. But David is definitely on my list because I like him. He has cool skills and all of that. And I do think he can be an interesting person, even if we pretty much literally seen him as, if it can move, I can fuck it. I mean, which is a personality trait, I guess, but maybe not the most best one. But I do like it. I do like him as a character in general, even if we have seen him so little. Archer, Lawful Neutral, Old Testament Israel, 171, 62 kilos. Character creators Meteor. Meteor? But shorter, because it's just Meteo, not Meteor. Nani? Yuji Nakamura does not voice anyone else. Weakling. What? Only voice one character? I mean, and in that regard, it makes the character very unique, because no one else has that voice. Then again, all other voice actors that do voices do it so good, so you don't notice that they are same voice actors most of the time. They're just that good. Strength C, Constitution D, Agility but I need to see but at least one per video. Magical Power C, Luck A. Ooh, big ass. Noble Fantas B. Pretty good. Me liking that. Magic Resistance A. Nova spell rank A or below. Mother May will not be able to wound David. I didn't expect that. Oh my god. He actually have Magic Resistance A? Holy crap. This guy has? I never saw that coming. Isn't that a level with like Artoria? Like holy yikes. Independent action A. One is able to act even with absence of the master. However, in a situation where one uses an enormous amount of magical energy, backup from the master becomes necessary. Still, A on that too. Divinity D. Divinity. Because he has a holy dick. Holy dick! Probably that's not how the song went. Has a weak divinity as an ancestor of the Messiah, approximately of the same rank as Joseph of Nazareth. Cool. David himself was no more than a mere shepherd in life. However, it seems he possessed some resistance as he is now against noble fantasy that is supported by the influence of the Messiah himself, though not by God's influence. For instance, holy shrouds, holy nails, the holy lance, and possible the holy grail. Wait, doesn't this mean he the grail won't affect him at all? Because it's possible. Dude, that's actually pretty. Dude, that is pretty. I actually like that they explain a little bit more on like about his divinity and how it's a bit more specific, other than like, yeah, he's half god. Okay, I mean that's true, and I guess that's what they do, but I think this is interesting, actually. This is really cool. Personal skill, Divine Protection of God, A. The outstanding body appears of one who has prophesied with the purpose of becoming king. One has the quick wittiness, agility, and physical strength to grab onto the tails of a lion and bears and beat them to death. What? Excuse me? Ursäkta mig, prinsessan? One has the quick witted, agility, and physical... beat them to death? What? Heracles, is that you? Holy shit, that is pretty insane. Oh my god. Harp of Healing. For David's harp, Kinnor, that had cleansed an evil spear from King Saul. It has the effect of exorcism, preserving tranquility of the listeners' minds. In ancient societies, the harp was highly regarded as an instrument that calms evil spirits. Nice. Charisma B. With all the tribes obeying him as the second king of Israel, he led an army of soldiers that exceeded 320,000 men and gained total control of Jerusalem. My god, that's all the people. Holy shit. That is pretty awesome. I like that. Dude. And speaking of David, I would love to see Goliath as a servant. I mean, come on. I know I said that, and I know people are going to be like, oh, he said the thing. He wants another person as a servant. Yes, I want that. And I will not stop. But, I mean, considering David and that, David and Goliath, that is kind of the thing, the thing. I mean, when you think David, you think Goliath. That's what I do, at least. Noble Phantoms, the Hamish Avanim, the 5-stone, rank Hawk. Anti-personal, maximum number targets 1. Hamish Avanim, 5 stones. The slingshot that defeated the giant Goliath. The 5 stones that express David's tolerance. What? He fires the first 4 shots and misses his opponent on purpose as a warning, but the 5th shot will surely hit a vital point. In the case of a servant, they will temporarily lose consciousness and suffer severe damage, although it's something insignificant in a typical war situation, where the unconscious person can be rescued by allied. Yeah, but also, if you can make take for example, even if you don't kill them, if you can make Gilgamesh unconscious, that's a major win in my book. And not to mention, if they are unconscious, it's easy to walk up to them and kill them as well. Some that allies can save them. But imagine and yeet a stone into Gilgamesh's crotch, and he's like, my holy thing. I don't know how they curse in Mesopotamia, but and then he's down there, and then David would go there and teabag him, and then slap him in the face with his nuts, and then win. Makes sense. Totally sense. Outwards, the opponent's main armament will either become a part of David's possession. What? Or it will become unusable. He will yell in the Hebrew language a countdown of He, Dalet, Gimel, Bet, and Aleph. Before launching the 5th stone, he'll make the threat obvious toward his opponent from the count of one with a stronger shout. Give that the weapon themselves are mere normal stones that have undergone transfiguration, it is possible to unendingly replenish them. Is C rank in the game. Dude, that is... Dude. Being able to, upon main armament will either become part... Seriously? Being able to do that? That is also insane. Doesn't it technically mean that he could make, Excalibur useless? Dude, the more you think about it, it's actually insane. Yikes. Yeah, you can make them unconscious, you can make their equipment take the possession of them, or it became unusable. Yahoo! My god. And shit, he has 3 noble phantoms? Yikes. Sacrifice flame upon the altar. Maximum number of target 600 people? Wait, what? 10 small incense burners who would materialize around each enemy present before they would burn the incense inside them. What? Cause of violet fumes envelop the target. What? Nani? Immediately, thunderclouds of mist gather overhead, giving somebody the impression of Mount Sinai, and hellfire sent down from heavens, to thoroughly incinerate those who oppose the will of God, without even leaving a single drop of blood behind. The Hensel's whole take on form of an altar. Wait, what the Yeah, what the fuck is this? Dude, you literally have this that can incinerate 600 people, leave nothing behind, apparently seemingly without any problem, and you use this motherfucking thing? Really? What the hell? Dude. My god, that is insane actually. Yikes. The Ark of Covenant. Maximum number target 900 people. Ew, even more AoE. A wooden box has stored the lithograph left behind by Moses. The magical energy of those who touch it will be stolen without exception. No ifs, ands, or buts, leading them to their extinguishment. So if you take out... Wait, so if you somehow could yeet one of these lithographs at the enemy, like for example Medea, a caster, their magical energy will be stolen. I mean, it is a bit of a wonky ability. It can probably get hard to get it to work, but if you do, damn! Seriously, what is up with this guy? David, you motherfucker! Seriously, what is up with his insane abilities? Though this one is just mental, like, holy shit. I mean, imagine you're like a bunch of people, and then people start to incinerate from the inside, thunder clouds, and like, oh god, that is. I would never imagine that David would have such an ability. Like, yikes. Personality. Ooh, there's a lot here actually. A refreshing super talent prodigy who does not be at his wits' end with matters. On one hand, David treats God first and foremost over all other things, whereas on the other hand, he's a thorough realist. He does not consider himself as someone who views his summoning as a resurrection of himself, but namely a summoning of someone who possessed the spirit of David himself. However, he also does not openly feel a sense of inferiority in existence as the kind of person. There is no difference in being a messenger of God in either the present time or during his own lifetime, for he holds a view where he is pleasant. For it is pleasant for him if we can feel the grace of God, no matter what kind of person he is. I guess that is nice. Yeah, this is pretty good, I guess. At the time of being summoned as an heroic spirit, he will wield his power to maximum extent without holding back the power from anyone. Furthermore, bringing alongside his body's knowledge absorbing greed, knowledge related to a history of humanity and advancement of technology from a time after his death to the moment of him arriving in the present time. Yeah, I mean, as we do know, is that servants do get the knowledge of technology and all these things in history to this point, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense. A wise man who's not hostile thoroughly, and also one who's shown calm behavior towards anyone as well. Since everyone, no matter who it is bestowed a role by God, David deals with this matter with respect. At least David himself intends to act on accordance with such. He advocates without hesitation that it is useless and fruitless effort for people to do battle while held captive by the grudge of their past. Although he does not regard women as children as part of one's military strength towards warriors, toward people who have resolved themselves for the king, that is very much not the case. Being king and a shepherd who has also got used to waiting upon people, he even grew accustomed to serving others from his experience as harpist. Ah, you harpy, like the flying monstrosities, ladies, eh? Because his flesh and bones are permeated with the importance of wealth and value of finance, David is shrewd in management of assets funds. Even plots of land are important in making a living as a king, not king. Money is also important. Yeah, goddamn capitalism. Although people's hearts are something hard to grasp, money can be harvested and grasped with rationality. Well, that is true. And given that human nature is something that can be controlled with money, it was David's style to take into consideration that the management of assets is surely essential. Well, he learned quickly that, money Time is money, friend. He's like He's literally the essence of a goblin. You know, goblins in like World of Warcraft will probably pray to this guy like, he created capitalism. Okay, he didn't, but you know, he's like the spirit animal of it. Well, I have money, I can buy you. And then, while he indeed appears to be a hero, David is weak toward women with nice bodies. Yeah, that we know. Something he always start talk about is want to go out to meet his wife, among other things. He truly does not regret the matter of him stealing another person's spouse, Bathsheba, who became the mother of Solomon, a beautiful wife of one of his subordinates who is deliberately murdered. What? Well, that is not nice. Also, because the devotion of the beautiful Abishag was something very pleasant to me, as she got to soothe his solitude around the time of him being in old age. David completely possessed a terrible, unmanageable sense of value where beautiful women that is of his liking equal Abishag. He goes into a decision of usually viewing on one as Abishag should see happen. I can't read. I can't read up. He goes into a decision of usually viewing one as Abishag should she happen to have a nice body or be a beautiful woman. But because of his bitter memory of the battle against the giant Goliath, any women that are taller than him are proven to be NG, no good, no matter what. He loves to perform on the harp, gifted in doing so, and dance, very poor in doing so. Okay, first of all, this is pretty much the only thing in general, as I remember, what we have seen about David is that he's very weak to women, you know, like, oh, he's like, oh man, I'm in the bone zone, you know, like, I like that ass, you know, he's like all about super horny constantly. But it's pretty interesting, actually. There is so much more to him that we haven't really get to see in the game, which I would actually really like to do. Though, this is kind of mean, though. A beautiful wife of one of his subordinates who he deliberately murdered. Like, what a fuck? You know, I was like, you know, he truly don't regret the matter of him stealing another person's spouse. I mean, if it was a spouse, you know, like, it doesn't really matter, you know. Most people, not everyone of course, have had relations before and etc, you know. And if you can find new love and all that, that's amazing, that's sweet, go for it. But when it like, well, they got deliberately murdered by the person that authored them, that's a serial killer thing going. Okay, maybe not a serial killer, but it's a tad bit of an sociopath tendency there, I will say. Rip that dude. Rip subordinate that doesn't even get a name, only that his wife is hot and his king murder him for it. Yikes. That's a big effing yikes for me. David, I didn't know this. Why would you do that? And Abishag would actually be cool as 7. I said it again. No, don't do that. David's motivation. David deals with anyone without being two-faced, especially toward his master. He's being frank from the beginning. Rather than calling it sincerity, he thinks of everything as a business partner. That is to say, his companion who will go and do battle together with his master. And because of that, it is improbable for David to betray them. At any rate, they share a common destiny. The pick of destiny! Since the profit and losses of his master will result in profits and losses for himself, it is highly unlikely that David will betray them. Yeah, that's true. But honestly, have he been like that in the game? I honestly haven't thought about it, because last time I saw David in the game was except when I did his you know, that, what is it called? That thing. When you do this special quest for those servants. The name of that I just literally fucking... Interludes! There we go, Interlude. I think that is the last time I literally saw him. in the game. Other than that, when we have seen him, he literally been like horny rather than actually like aha business time. Or maybe I just forgot it. I wouldn't be surprised at all actually that I forgot it because I have the brain capacity of a dead sea slug. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Um, DLR Archer David. Yeah, I'll do it. Definitely will do. Why does it sound like he want to fuck me? I wouldn't be surprised at all though. Yo, it's the day you were born. Let me bless you. By the way, you're not interested in such a thing like stocks or land, are you? Good grief, look at that uneconomy. That's uneconomy. The Holy Grail, huh? No, thank you, since I already had that sort of thing, right? Abishag. Oh, you're not Abishag? Man, have I totally missed that? I probably have. I just remember him being super horny. So he's like literally the epitome of greed and lust. Good. Good to know. Why does all the characters I'm grailing in general are the weirder ones? I don't know. I mean, Blackbeard, I don't even need to say, everyone knows. Jaguar Warrior, well, Tiger, you know. Darius, because he's 3 years old. David, he's a bit of the funkier side. Oh gosh. I like this though. An Israelite king who appears in the Old Testament, originally a shepherd, David nominated himself and gave out his name for the one-on-one duel with the giant Goliath before he defeated him. Afterwards, although there was some quarrels with the king at the time, after being enthroned as a splendid king, it has been said that he carried out a magnificent regime. David was a shepherd as well as a harpist. In those days, in order to play the harp to the king of Israel, who was going to war with the Philistines, David was often visiting the army. Sometime during that period, the Philistine giant Goliath demanded for single combat that wagered everything on the line. Made uneasy for the giant's excessive strength, no one from the Israelite army was able to face him. But only David responded to the one-on-one duel. Although Goliath looked down on David because he was so big that he literally looked down on everyone all the time, who challenged him without even taking a sword with him. David threw a stone that made Goliath faint and decapitated his head with the giant's own sword. Owned! Yeah, oh, what happened with you, Goliath? Well, I got hit in the face by stone, fainted, and then he decapitated me with my own sword. Ooh, that sucks, bro. I know. Fucking shit. I mean, when you think about it, Goliath, I'm actually curious about Goliath. I haven't read up about it. I mean, I know Goliath is the giant. They defeat him and become king, and etc. That's what I know. But, you know, for Goliath, maybe Goliath's... No, I'm just painting up a random image. But maybe Goliath actually had a good heart. He's like, you know, instead of fighting and we losing lots of people, I will stand there and take the full brunt of their strength. You know, like a 101 duel to the death, and then the blood spill will be less. You know, maybe. Hey, ever thought about that perspective? We haven't. 200 IQ there. A bow and arrows made... Wait, what? He doesn't even use a bow and arrow. That's a lie. Where the fuck does he keep those things? I mean, I guess he can do that, but he just doesn't have it on him, which would be weird because he's an archer, you know, and archers and bows, you know, that's not a real thing. It's just made up belief. Connection with other characters. It's all about... Oh. Say, he's not drastic work. He's doing drastic work. Perhaps this was a matter you can't be greatly patient with. Me? Look, I'm the impression that... Suppose I ran away with all my 10 treasure miseries back then. I might completely open up the Ark of the Covenant as I do so. Whether I like it or not, I wonder if I can really do that sort of thing to Solomon. Hey, instead of talking about the nerve I have and such, I think that guy doesn't have that sort of freedom. I became king from being a shepherd, although looking at that guy, I can conclude that he was meant to be great king since the beginning. Aww. Man, I would love to... Why can't we get Solomon as a servant? I want him back. I want him back. Roman. Moses, thank you, great ancestor. Truly thank you. But isn't that a little too dangerous? You know, I want Moses, just because, you know, in if you have been watching Epic Rap Battle History, Moses versus Santa Claus, where they literally have Snoop Dogg as Moses, high as fuck, and just literally ripping Santa apart. I would love that kind of Moses in this game. It would be so fucking awesome. Like, yeah, Snoopy appearing, Snoop Dogg, like, yo. I would like that kind of Moses. Female servant in general, with exception of children. Abhishek? You're not Abhishek. Hmm, I say. Commented from Illustrator. He's a character who I took to do his design year. Restart? He's a character who I took to do his design years ago. Oh man. But now David appears in FGO. Woohoo! It turns out that because I began from the fact that my drawing were opposite to the drawing of my old self, it was difficult to deliver the drawing in a certain sense. From his original clothes second stage, I reached a decision of taking off and putting on clothes for his other stage so they become what they are now. Although as a useless father, please treat me well from now on. Yeah, I can do that. Potato, what do we have here? Womanizer, indeed. It's true to his lore, so whatever, lol. Anyway, I guess what I have to do here is nitpicking shit. His second MP sounds sick as fuck, dude. I want to see that. Yes, I say, it is insane! Please no summer rule version. Yeah, that's pretty boring. Though, honestly, at this case, I would be happy just to have a male summer servant, because at the moment we only get, like, outfits. I don't think we have gotten... I don't know how it looks in Japan at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if we still just do female servants. Also, you notice, but his general armor don't make quite so... Yeah! He can steal other people's MPs. Indeed, he's insane. Thanks for the skill seal on this MP. DV, very cool way to demonstrate that. I hope someone else also read Harpist or Rapist by accident like me. No, I actually didn't. Though I did Harpist more like an harp, you know, like the flying. More that kind of harpy than rather like bling 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 bling. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think David is pretty neat. I really wish that we got to see more of him. I would really, really like that. Think that he's pretty nice character and even more fun to read about him actually, learning more about him as character and all of that, which I didn't know too much and I feel like we haven't seen really much of, and that makes me happy. You know, I like to see more of the characters. You know, giving them a bit more to them as a person rather than just having like one personality trait or something like that, like how they generally have done to Blackbeard. Though the summer event was a big, nice step forward for him and everyone else for that matter, in my opinion. But I really do like him, and I do plan to grail him at some point, definitely. Even if this is a bit weird, that doesn't make sense. But he doesn't even use a bow, but okay, could be. And I would actually love to see him as an ruler, or at least maybe something else that is another David that uses MP in the game, like fuck you guys, AoE, AoE. Dude, that is actually that's just insane. I love that. So yeah, pretty neat. And next one, Hektor. Yes, I love Hektor. I get hated by some people for no reason, Matt. Yeah, that's so weird. Seriously. Oh man, my stomach makes sounds if you wonder what that sound is. Seriously, I saw some people that hate him for no reason at all. That was not having breasts does to you. Yeah, I'm glad Lana has big boobs, so I wouldn't go through the trouble compiling these. I'm happy you like them. I'm gonna smack them against a dungeon door later on. But I find it weird that people do hate him. I mean, yeah, I honestly don't see a reason, because, first of all, we haven't seen him much in the game. I mean, obviously, if you don't like him, it's fine. It's all subjective after all. But it is weird, though, you know? Because the only time I've seen him in the game is in Okeanos, and then where he pretty much just betrayed Blackbeard, which is already... And Blackbeard is already, like, one of the most hated and despised characters in the entire fucking game. So, wouldn't people like that he betrayed Blackbeard? Something like that? Or Or do I remember wrong? No, I don't. I'm losing all my hair here. But yeah, personally, I like him. I like him and Blackbeard together. You know, like they're like bros. He's like the funny, weird little uncle man. I like him. Also, he has, I must say, a very simple, stylish design. You know, nothing insane. This looks just generally nice. I want a saber fucking Hector, man. I really want that. Would be badass. Badass. I didn't realize he had a little ponytail. That is so cute. Ah, that's oh, he do have one of checking there behind his. Ah, that is adorable. I didn't realize that. Also, I do like this armor he has on his arm. They're like badass. And the spear. Really cool. I mean, seriously, it is. I just like him, man. He's cool. He's the kind of character I really like in a random show because he's like a little bit scruffed. He's not this pretty boy like many protagonists are. He's a rough and tough guy. Hector, the Trojan War, Lawful Neutral, 180. Ooh, he's pretty tall. Cited by Lee Chauvin, Lubu, Darius, and oh yeah, that's true. That's seriously. I'm still amazed that they have the same voice actor, because they don't sound similar at all. That is what is so. These voice actors are so talented. Like yikes. Strength B, Constitution B, Agility A, Magical Power B, Luck B, No Offense. Dude, he's a B character right there. I'm just saying, he's bisexual. But damn, seriously, that is some pretty good stats. I mean, he literally like have sure he doesn't have any super stats. I mean, agility is pretty good, of course, and B is good in general. But he doesn't have any weakness either. Like he's good, man. Riding. The ability of riding. One can manage most vehicles and beasts with above average skill, but they cannot manage beasts of magical beasts and sacred beasts rank. Dude, Rider, Hector, please. I would like that. Magical resistant boob. Nullify spells that were invoked with the chant of 3 verse or below. Damn, he has higher magic resistance too. Even targeted by the likes of great mage card or great rituals, he's difficult for one to be damaged by them. That's good stuff, man. Military tactics, cock plus. An instinctive ability for utilizing tactical knowledge not for one-on-one combat situation, but in battlefields, where a large number of people are mobilized. Autobots, roll out. I just imagine that. An advantageous modifiers provide only in a situation where one's own anti-army noble phantasm is used, or when conversely dealing with opposing anti-army noble phantasm. Particularly in defensive warfare, Hector acquire high tactical ability bonus. That's neat. Disengage boob. The ability to withdraw from combat. Restores disadvantage battle condition to the battle initial turn 1, and restore their condition once technique to the initial value. Proof of friendship cock. Yes, that's how we measure friendship here. By slamming our cocks at each other. Yes, that's how we Swedes say hello. If anyone say anything else, they are lying. My fellow Swedes, don't say anything. Let them believe that. In the case where hostile servant has no possession of mental pollution skill, that opponent's fighting spirit can be suppressed to some extent, and one is then able to commence a negotiation in a dialogue. In a Holy Grail, an advantage check is acquired at the time of forming temporal alliance. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. He's a good. I mean, I like his skill set. It's a really good skill set. Durandana Spada, the ultimate unbreakable sword. But it's that spear. It's below the unbreakable spear. Pilum. Pilum is spear. Durandana, it's the Italian reading of Durandal. Namely, Hector is the original owner of the ultimate unbreakable hallow, noble phantom that was in Roland's possession. Because there are no holy relic located inside its hilt, it's limited to being a simple noble phantom and merely cause a large amount of damage. I mean, that is not a bad thing. Isn't that like literally what most noble phantoms are about? And what does it mean? Because there's no holy relic located inside its hilt. What do you mean by that? is there normally something in the hilt? I guess. During down a pilum, out of despair, the javelin. No, you said spear there, and then you say javelin here. You can't just mix around the words like that. It makes us very confused. Said to have been used by Hektor, piercing and separating from all things it strikes. That is, it is nothing but him extending the hand of the sword on occasion and throwing it as a spear. Sword? More like a spear. Oilo. Literally pulling out, like, a telescope, like, whoop. Although he cannot use both sword and a spear simultaneously, even if he is summoned as either lance or saber, he will always possess both the sword and the spear noble phantasm. To defend against this thrown spear, one must prepare defensive noble phantasm that is equal to raw ayas. Holy shit! Also, both true names of the two forms are strictly called Durindana, so even if the second half of the name are omitted, it's possible to activate them as a noble phantasm. Dude, that's actually pretty neat, like, starting with Durindana and then like, oh no, he's gonna throw Spanner! Oh no, we were tricked! Damn you, Hektor! Fuck you! Seriously though, I would love a saber Hektor. I mean, we got saber Deermud, so why not a saber Hektor? I want that. Personality, a general of the competent yet lazy persona type. Yes, so to speak. That use frivolous talk and display an attitude of low motivation. Rather than saying it is calm, Hector's attitude can be openly seen like something like a little jestful, but the analytical side of his perceptive. In the case where he judges his master's order to be made with mistake, he will go against them with composure and speak in ways that his saying can be comprehended. He's in a carefree mode from beginning to end, saying, seems there's no problem if it eventually goes smoothly. He's the type of person who would not unite with someone dead like Professor Kanef. It's interesting to mention Professor Kanef. Here. However, having a resourcefulness thoroughly tempered for the sake of winning for the Trojan War, which became these hopeless defensive siege battles for the Trojans, one cannot conclude that Hector is called an irresponsible kind of person or gambler that arose from the depth of his mind. It is surely because he was screwing around that he was able to prolong this hopeless battle up to that point. Even though he was eventually defeated, it was not only his individual military prowess, but Hector also having that daring smile worn on his face that made the Achaean army... Achaean! It's the Achaean army! Achaean, however you pronounce that. Also, he was talently provoking his enemy. From the way it seems, whether it appears to be in the middle of battle or during a break, the impulsive Achilles was thoroughly harassed by Hector. Yeah, I do remember that. And then Achilles being an ass as well, like, most of these people are asses. That thing is really effing true. But I'm thinking interesting they mention Kanef like that. I mean, I think it's the first time we actually mentioned Kanef in one of these materials, right? Pretty different. Pretty different. Motivation attitude towards master. Regarding his master, Hector's relationship with them is somewhat over-familiar for him, bordering on the impression that it can pretty much be called a relationship between a retainer and a lord. Rather than calling him retainer and lord, though, it's more like Hector being a veteran sergeant toward a second lieutenant who is a stranger to the battlefield. In the case where his master is out of the unjust sort, he will run counter to his declared intention and limit his wisdom as well, while avoid appearing subordinate to them. Damn sneaky, Hector, eh? Nice. Now, well then, shall you let me do it? Do what? Do me? Be my pleasure, man. Alas, it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant. Well, excuse me then. I just gave myself to you and you say that. That's mean. It hurts. This old man won't do a thing like a defensive siege campaign a second time. It's tiresome, but hey, it seems I have to do it. Alright, I delay their combat preparation. I'll simply prolong this delay them as slowly as possible, and once the whole crew completely withdraws, I'll turn my ass over and prepare to run away. What? I can tell you that it's supposed to be easy. Well, it's because everyone except this old man escapes, then it's a victory at that occasion. Master, just one thing. Don't make a move on another's wife. Hey, I beg of you. Jeez. I won. What? It's a victory for me since I'm finally standing in the end. That is kind of depressing, actually. Hey. And what is it? Don't make him move another's wife. Hey, I beg you. Man, what happened, Hector? Little did Hector know that MC can't keep it in his pants and will go off literally anyone that moves. Well, true. Oh god, we know that MC has the power of that, of harem. Pretty much. A historical image and character. The great hero on the Trojan side in the Trojan War. He was called Hector of the Shining Helmet. Hector scolded Troy, who was at a disadvantage in regard to numbers, moved on the aged king, who was his father, brought together the Trojan army and continued to wage war against the Achaeans. When and after Hector lost Achilles in one-on-one duel, the Trojan side proceeded to decline. Originally, the impetus of the Trojan War arose from the beginning when Paris, remember that, the younger brother of Hector snatched away Helen, the queen of Achaeans. Oh yeah, that's what he mean with that. Like, don't make a move on another's wife. Hey, I beg of you, jeez. Because yeah, his brother did that, and we know how that happened. Well, that too. Helen had received abuse from her husband Menelaus. Menelaus. I mean, someone named like that is no wonder. They are abusive. And as far as Paris was concerned, it was a justified reason for him to save her back then. Paris. You can make him a servant. Again. In the first place, Menelaus married Helen for the purpose of reaching Elysium after death. Helen was a priest of the moon goddess, and it was conditioned to marry her in order to reach Elysium. Elysium, what is that? It sounds like an effing fantasy castle. Gonna nitpick this, wait for me, what? No matter what, Hector could not grow to dislike his younger brother, who was not able to look at the whole picture and completely made the situation worse by saving a person just in front of his eyes. Older brother, I can't get used to becoming a king. I can't abandon a crying woman before my eyes, after all. If they return Helen, it might not be obvious that it will result in reparation in some way or another, such as the cession of territories and even Paris' decapitation in case they do so. Hector refused those options and decided to fight. There is no justice in this conflict. If that happens to be so, then it's really about the resentment of Paris for harboring Helen for himself. And as he recited to himself, Hector decided that he will fight to the bitter end his opponents. That's weird. That's a weird spelling there. Oh well. The Greek heroes who gathered in the Achaean army for 10 years thereafter. Hector was viewed as the strongest warrior of the Trojan army, the army commander, and even a politician on top of that, easily betraying even the expectation of the gods and having cornered the Achaean army to the brink of retreat for a period of time. And he's just like a 3-star. He's like super good. However, this war situation was proceeding to be gradually overturned by Achilles, a hero loved by the gods. Yeah, when you get plot armor from the gods, man, kinda sucks. Although Hector held out somehow by sometimes repeatedly escaping and sometimes repeatedly fighting, all while repeatedly making provocation, he was compelled to engage in one-on-one duel in a semi-compulsive manner because of Achilles' spear, which was his foe's noble phantasm. Hector already resigned for his luck to run out, but on the other hand, he had not cast away his temptation for victory, so he accepted a one-on-one duel where he happened to lose to that duel. However, he realized the secret of Achilles' body just before he died, so he carved a dying message on his body. Paris became aware of that message when Hector's body was later returned to Troy, and later in the war, he happens to be splendidly shot through Achilles' heel by borrowing the support of the sun god Apollo. Damn. And I do remember that Achilles was like dragged Hector's body, after the wagon and shit like that. It was kind of a mess, as they did. Achilles says the servant Achilles has not appeared yet in grand orders, but he have now. Hey, if he comes to sign out, I can say with confidence that this old man intends to run away immediately. Nice. Come on, Hector. I know you can beat his ass. Leonidas, similar defensive type servant. In one way or another, they would occasionally talk together about such things such as how to be able to hold on to these things in this situation. And among other things, in the opposite direction, they talk about muscle foundation. So with being that case, it doesn't result in much of consultation then for Hector. I also see Leonidas like, muscles! And Hector's like, yeah, cool, dude. Oh, gosh. a hero in Trojan War to an old man who feels like he's bound to be aloof from the world. The image I refer to is a middle-aged man, my cameraman, who has nerve to become useless. A true middle-aged man is nice, right? Because he was a very easy to understand character, it was fun to draw him. By the way, the design of his right arm is creation added after he was finished. Since there was a request I want him to have his no fancy direct to be flashy, that's cool. Then I can tell you that his remodeling of his right arm would be done for the flow feeling. Although this weapon of his also has a stringy shape, the settings said it can be either a sword or a spear by shortening or extending its handle respectively. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Wait, you're telling me that in Fate lore Achilles was standing while Hector rode a whole message on his heel? Message on his heel and never bothered to wash it off or some shit? Yeah. This I mean, it is true. And how heck he managed to carve that on his body, it makes no sense. And I don't think he did that in real lore, right? I don't think he did, because I never remember reading that, at least. Because I know Hector was defeated by Achilles, and Achilles, like, just dragged his body after the wagon, and I don't think he even sent his body back, right? He kind of, like, desecrated it, and, all weird stuff like that. Anyway, I need to pick this, and please comment peeps. I'm sorry. Comments creeps. Well, there are those there as well, I say. Correct me, but grant source please, if it happened I'm mistaken. As always, fate seems to have slightly twisted history to justify and paint Paris and Helen in a better light. Unfortunately, well, it ain't black and white. Sit down, grab some popcorn, get ready, because this might be long. Holy shit! That is long. Yikes! Okay, I'm curious what he has in store here. Now, just to get this out of there, the following is not meant to paint Menelaus in better light or justify whether abuse might have or have not happened, as a person I haven't found anything about that, but it's not too far off if such thing have happened. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised, considering the history and lore of stuff like that. Yeah, it tend to be kind of crazy. Let's start with the fact that she, in some story if not, is the daughter of Zeus that, tried to guess it, raped, fucked with more women, will transform into a fucking goose. What? He did? Oh god. He transformed to a goose and raped someone? Oh my god. You know what? I'm happy Kratos is out there and killing the gods, because the gods are fucking horrible. No wonder this game, the evil goose is a thing, because holy shit. For whatever reason, the women end up laying eggs, yes, and so were born Castor, Pollux, Helena, and Clytemnestra. The number of eggs and who's born from which, depending on source. Oh, God. Well, this is interesting because I didn't know all this, so I'm happy Potato take time to write this down, because I think it is interesting. Okay, that's very weird story aside. I just want to tell it. Yes, it's very weird, but also very interesting. Let's get back into it. Now, again, the story varies in each source, but none of them did find anything about Helen being a priest of the moon goddess, nor that Menelaus' intention of marrying was to get to Elysium because of that. In fact, when her father, King Tyndareus, announced that, guys, you can't ask her for marriage now, okay? A shit ton of suitors showed up, including famous names such as Odysseus, Patroclus, and Ajax. Thanks to Odysseus' idea after he got Tyndareus helping him with a Penelope, he made also swear an oath to go to aid of the winner, who should the winner get into quarrels. That sounds crazy. Needless to say, Menelaus won, and they married, having a daughter and 3 sons in other sources. The reason why Paris saved Helen from Menelaus was because of the whole story quarrel between the goddess over who was the most beautiful, and Aphrodite promised him Helen if he chose her choose her. Oh god. Imagine promising another person that has nothing to do with you as a prize. Oh shit, Helen's dad did the same. Yeah, if anything, I feel bad for Helen. Like, everyone's like, she's a prize. And she's like, can I get to say anything? No! Okay, sorry. If you happen to watch that one, try with Brad Pitt, following the comparison between both versions might be easy to picture. Oh man, that was ages since I saw that movie. Holy shit, I barely remember it. Menelaus dies when Hector intervenes after the mad husband beats the shit out of Paris on an honorable duel. Bullshit. Menelaus wins and is about to kill him, but Aphrodite yeets Paris inside the walls of Troy. Yeet? Now, according to other sources, Homer, Menelaus also is the one that retrieved Patroclus' body, not Odysseus like in the movie. Yeah, I don't remember the movie very well. It was so long ago. And finally, in the end of the war, there were 4 known versions for his reunion with Helen. In the first one, he finds her but can resolve himself to kill her and take her back as his wife. Second one, he does resolve himself, but ends up giving up to her abuse and takes her with him to punish her at Sparta. This is Sparta! Third one, he also resolved to kill her, but gives up after she kinda goes naked and shit. Thinking with a funny bone, or horny bone, rather. Finally, in the last one, he has his soul killer by stoning, but she goes naked again and they kinda give up. What is that? Drop the clothes and everyone like, oh no, I can't do this. Ah, well, I gave up, whatever. That's all I believe that matters for this. So yeah, so you can see I didn't quite find anything states that he abused her in a way, though not the point. Not the point and not unlikely. You can see how much fate melded in the story to make her out to be more of a maid in peril than she actually is. Just like they did with Medea. Anyway, that's all I had to nitpick about. Sorry for Iliad lesson, but I thought I should make clear of the meddling done in the myth. As always, comment, clarify anything you think I might have fucked up, but please bring sources because I want to read them for reals. As always, sorry for wasting you guys' time with a big test and salt beyond comprehension. Hey Lana, fuck black. Black be a main farm for me at home. I don't understand what this means. Oh wait, you want to fuck Blackbeard? I mean, I don't blame you. He's a big hunk, I say. And I personally think this is really interesting. Thank you for taking time to write all this, Potato. Because, as I said, I don't have very little knowledge about all of this. I just know it's like Paris kind of kidnapped Helene, and then this war started, and Troy, and everything, yeah, you know, yada yada. And I am not surprised that they are kind of like changing the story a bit to fit in more with the how they want to do things in this game, which is okay. But I think it's also important that they notify that they do alter the history a little bit to fit more with the game and what they have for plans, etc. So yeah, I'm personally think that is grateful, and of course, if anyone do know something else, please write in the comments, and yeah, we appreciate that. And me personally, I love Hektor. I think he's an awesome character. He looks cool. He have cool and good skill set, and not to mention that in general, he's a seemingly awesome character. And history-wise, I like him way more than Achilles. Actually, you know, I've seen Achilles in the game. Achilles in the game is really sick. I love him, but I still think Hektor is way cooler. So yeah. It is a bit shame that they changed history like this, which is kind of ironic when thinking about it, because most of the history is not actually about Hektor himself, but about Paris and Helen, rather, you know, which I think is pretty fun, considering like it's Hektor, but still it's not about him in that regard, not directly at least. So, but yeah, and AA Ace. Outstanding character, I like him, and I want to see more of him in the game as well. And definitely one I'm gonna grail, especially now when I saw his animation updates and all that, which was just awesome. I love it. But yes, I will be back with more FGO Thursday next Thursday. So thank you for watching, see you later on, and I will continue a super great day.